It takes heart to build bodies that break records. Over the last 6 years, a team of incredible healthcare professionals did what most people thought was impossible. They rebuilt the body of legendary Olympian Lindsey Vonn after a series of devastating injuries forced her into early retirement. Now she's headed to the 2026 Winter Games, ready to break records once again. This February in Milan, Lindsay's team and the entire USA medical team will be wearing FIGS. You can rock their official uniform too. The new Team USA collection from FIGS is engineered with Fiber X, the most durable fabric yet. Fiber X is the new gold standard for high-performance scrub wear. It's lightweight, breathable, and ultra-resilient. And of course, the styles come in red, white, and blue. Check out the limited edition Team USA collection and get 15% off your first order at wearfigs.com with code FIGSRX. That's wearfigs.com, code FIGSRX.
We're leaving today and entering a world of Mickey Mouse waving, princess meeting and greeting, lightsaber clashing, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror dropping, Banshee flying, Space Mountain launching, Galaxy rewinding. What's the one that was Galaxy rewinding? Fireworks igniting. World of other worlds. For whatever you love. Infinite worlds await at the most magical place on Earth. Walt Disney World Resort.
Hello there, I'm Nurse Mo, and welcome to Mo's Monday Minute, a quick shorty episode that I release on Mondays. And this one is going to look back at the episode that was released on Thursday. We're going to be doing a pod quiz about that topic. I'll ask a question, pause for a minute, give you time to answer, and then tell you the answer. It's a great way to test your understanding of the topic and prepare for exams or one-on-one with the patient at the bedside. And if you like this type of quizzing and reviewing of information, then you need to check out Study Sesh, where I go through pod quizzes on a ton of different disease conditions and must-know nursing knowledge. So check out Study Sesh if you enjoy this pod quiz. Let's get started. Which tonsils are removed in a tonsillectomy and adenoidectomy? So that is the palatine tonsils and the adenoids, which are also known as the pharyngeal tonsils. What body system are these tissues a part of? They are part of the lymphatic system and play a big role in immunity. This one is a fill in the blank. A child with recurrent blank or recurrent blank would be a likely candidate for a TNA procedure. That would be recurrent tonsillitis, recurrent otitis media, and then as a bonus, recurrent sinus infections. Good job. What age child is higher risk for hemorrhage after a TNA procedure? That would be a child over 6 years of age. When did the scabs develop after a TNA procedure? They tend to develop 24 to 48 hours after the surgery. True or false? Ear pain is a sign of a serious complication after a TNA procedure. So this is false. Ear pain is referred pain, and it is pretty common after a tonsillectomy and adenoidectomy. What type of monitoring can detect oxygen desaturation more quickly than pulse oximetry? That is end tidal CO2. Excellent. True or false? Stridor is an expected finding after this procedure. Hopefully you said false because stridor is a very bad sign. It indicates that the airway is closing. This child needs immediate intervention. What are two earlier signs of post-op bleeding in your patient? One is frequent swallowing. That will definitely be on an exam. And another is frequent throat clearing. What about later signs of bleeding? So those could be things like pallor, tachycardia, and hypotension. Hopefully we catch it way before we get to that point. What does coffee ground emesis indicate? Coffee ground emesis indicates ingested blood, which is pretty common with this procedure. At least a small amount of ingested blood is pretty common. Which pain scale would be most appropriate for a 5-year-old who can self-report? The FLAC scale, the Wong-Baker Faces scale, or the numeric scale? The Wong-Baker Faces scale would be an excellent option for a child who's 5 years old who can self-report their pain. Your patient is crying but has no tears. What does this indicate? This child is likely dehydrated. Assess fluid volume status and encourage fluids. Name 2 ways you could possibly encourage a child with throat pain to get some fluids in. What could you offer them? Popsicles and ice chips are great options. Speaking of good options, what about nutrition? What are some things that the child could eat that wouldn't hurt their sore throat? So hopefully you mentioned soft foods, things like yogurt, applesauce, pudding, mashed potatoes, jello, pasta, scrambled eggs, pancakes, stuff like that. Why do we want to discourage coughing in our child who's had a TNA procedure? Coughing can dislodge those delicate scabs, leading to severe bleeding. When is the sore throat expected to get most severe in that post-operative period? It tends to get more severe around days 5 through 7, at least a few to several days after the surgery. And what is the most common reason for post-operative hemorrhage, let's say after the child has gone home? Most commonly, it's going to be due to those scabs falling off too early before things are completely healed. You did a fantastic job with this pod quiz. And again, if you like reviewing in this way, you definitely want to check out Study Sesh. I've got a link for you in the episode notes, and I'll see you soon with another episode. Bye for now. This podcast is brought to you by Straight A Nursing, a proud member of the Airwave Media Network. For more educational podcasts, check out airwavemedia.com. And for more nursing-related content, go to straightanursingstudent.com.
Rinse knows that greatness takes time, but so does laundry. So Rinse will take your laundry and hand deliver it to your door expertly cleaned. And you can take the time pursuing your passions. Time once spent sorting and waiting, folding and queuing, now spent challenging and innovating and pushing your way to greatness. So pick up the Irish flute or those calligraphy pens or that daunting beef Wellington recipe card and leave the laundry to us. Rinse. It's time to be great.